Good evening, welcome back to Marty's Tying Bench. Tonight I'm putting together kits for Vice Squad, and the pattern this week is something called a Rainbow Prince. This is a unique pattern, rather local in design and use. Platte River Flag Company used to make these a few years back, and it was a hot ticket on the Roaring Fork, and I've taken it on the road to the Bighorn, to North Platte, Grays Reef, Miracle Mile. Good attractor pattern. Tying it on a size 14. This is a Dai Riki 730, so it's a little bit extra long to make room for the bead. The bead's 1/8. Now I'm going to put 6 turns of lead. Oops, let's get a good start. And by the time you fold that around, it might be 7, but ballpark is fine. And I chose that number so when I stick it up inside the bead, it leaves just the right amount for a collar. Obviously, you can use more lead if you want a heavier fly, or you can use a tungsten bead, but this is a good standard. My thread's 140 denier. You can use just about any thread. I like red because it turns into kind of a hotspot color, but you could tie this in black, you could tie it in any kind of color you like. The tail, we're going right back to our evil Biots. Any type of brown, butterscotch, tan. The one I've got here is labeled Golden Stone. If you get your Biots off of the tip end, they'll be skinnier and much easier to tie in as a divided tail here. I got them curved the same direction, side by side. You want to spin your thread around, and then just gently with your thread tension, just adjust it until they're in place and then tighten up. If you struggle with that, go ahead and tie them in one at a time. You can always put a thread ball in there to help separate them. But the biggest trick is using skinny Biots. Now, I'm going to move my thread towards the front end before I dub. And I'll show you why here in a second. The dubbing is a blend of a whole bunch of little angel hairs, and out of the package they're all in a straight line and very difficult to dub. So the first thing you want to do is just kind of crunch it up. Then the fibers will all want to stay together. As you dub, rub them up and down on the thread first to crunch it up even more, then spin tightly. This is going to be messy no matter what you do, but the tighter you get it, the more control you'll have over the shape and the shagginess. Now, I'm going to dub from front to back. And I'm creating a taper. I want it a little skinnier at the back. But the reason I'm dubbing from front to back is my last wraps going through will be the ones that finalize the shape, and the thread pressing down on the previous wraps will hold them in place and make it nice tight body. Relatively tight. Now, for wings, instead of Biots on the typical prints, we're going to use round rubber. Now here I've peeled a long stretch with the two of them still together just to make it a little easier to tie in. And I'm going to tie it on that lead platform that we created with the extra wraps. I'm going to trim that so that it's somewhere between the body, end of the body, and the tails. We're going to put a hackle collar on it. And you can use any old scrap hackle you want. I kind of like the fibers to be the length of the body, but a little long, a little short, won't matter. I'm only making a couple of turns, and you see how I spread them all the way up to the bead? The reason I do that is because when I dub a collar of rainbow dubbing in front of it, I can reach up there and stroke most of those or all of those out of the way, and as my dubbing goes from front to back, it will encourage those hackle fibers to sweep back, and that's the effect I'm looking for. Before I tie a whip finish, I'm going to make a few extra wraps of thread till that red shows up somewhat distinctly. That's part of the fly. Whip finish. And head cement's a good idea on this one, since you can see that's a lot of thread on top of some materials, so a little bit of head cement would be good. To break apart those wings, just stretch them. There you go. Rainbow prints, great attractor pattern. Just get it down deep and then put your favorite midge or Biots or whatever behind it.